Seeing as it is 7:30, the Tuesday, April 19th, 2022 regular meeting of the Gardner City Council will come to order. The clerk will please call the roll.
Council Boone?
Present.
Council Boudreaux?
Present.
Council Craig Cormier?
Present.
Council Ronald Cormier?
Present.
Council General Lowitz?
Present.
Council Hardern? Present. Council Heath?
Present.
Council Mack? Council Tyros?
Present.
Council Walsh? President Kaczynskis.
Present. Please rise to recite the opening prayer and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Almighty God, we thank thee for bringing us together this evening. Inspire us to worthy deeds and sound decisions, and direct us toward the attainment of just government. We pray thee to bless and protect all the people of our city, and to so guide and inspire us that we may deliberate in unity and harmony. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Announcement of open meeting recordings. Any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium, subject to reasonable requirements of the chair as to the number, placement, and operation of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. Any person intending to make such recording shall notify the chair forthwith. All documents and exhibits used or referenced at the meeting must be submitted in duplicate to the chair as they become part of the meeting minutes pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. Is anyone here recording tonight's meeting? We will begin with the reading and approval of the February 22nd, 2022 regular meeting minutes and March 7th, 2022 informal meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion that we waive the reading of those minutes and that we accept the minutes of the February 22nd regular meeting and the March 7th informal meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Ron Cormier and seconded by Councilor Boudreaux to waive the reading of the minutes and accept them as presented. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. There are no public hearings. Communications from the mayor. Item number 10654, a notification of fire department appointments. Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The council appreciates the communication from Chief Lagoy and welcomes these new members to our fire department. I move to place the communication on file. Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Craig Cormier to place the notification on file. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10657, an appointment notification of promotion at the Gardner Fire Department. Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. We would like to congratulate firefighter Moniz to his promotion to the rank of lieutenant and for all of his good work in our community. I move to place the communication on file.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Dernalowitz to place the notification on file. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion passes. Item 10658, a measure relative to a disclosure by a special municipal employee of financial interest in a municipal contract as required by General Law, Chapter 268A, Section 20. Is there a motion? Councilor Dernalowitz.
Thank you. I make a motion to accept the disclosure.
Motion made by Councilor Dernalowitz, seconded by Councilor Tyros to accept the disclosure. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item number 10663, a measure authorizing the city to enter in contract not to exceed 5 years for the following vendors. On-call tradesperson contracts, installation, repair, and maintenance for HVAC, electrical services, plumbing services, and/or general contracting, school custodial services, general office, and janitorial supplies. Report from the Finance Committee.
The Finance Committee is favorable. We often do this as we're allowed to only enter contracts for 3 years without taking a special vote as we have here. It's often hoped that by doing it this way we can receive a more favorable contract bid, It also ensures continuity of services. And with that being said, I make a motion that we pass the measure authorizing the city to enter into such contract.
Second?
Motion made by Counselor Ron Cormier, seconded by Counselor Darren Lowitz to authorize the measure. Is there a discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Orders. Item number 10659, a measure authorizing $9,225.75 payment of prior year golf maintenance salary expenditure. Is there a motion?
Report from the Finance Committee on that.
Councilor Ron Cormier?
Finance Committee discussed this. This was an error based on the contractual obligation that we owe this employee. The city is legally obligated to pay it. The monies are already available in the golf course enterprise funds, and I so move that we pass the authorization.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Ron Cormier, seconded by Counselor Boudreau to pass the authorization. Is there discussion on the motion? Counselor Darren Lowitz?
I just want to say I'm going to abstain from voting on this as a member of the Golf Commission.
Thank you, Counselor. Further discussion? This requires a roll call vote. The clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone?
Yes.
Counselor Boudreau?
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Ronald Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Harder?
Yes.
Counselor Heath?
Yes.
Counselor Tyros?
Yes.
President Kaczynskis?
Yes.
8 yeas.
8 yeas, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Item 10660, an order appropriating $10,000 from solid waste surplus to operating expenses. Report from the Finance Committee. Counselor Darren Lowitz?
Thank you, Madam President. This relates back to our vote on February 22nd under Order 10613, where the council approved the funding of new trash receptacles in the city. Due to the increase of the cost of the materials, this will require an additional appropriation of the $10,000 seen here. There was a review, as outlined in the packet, of the receptacles that were going to be purchased. That number was decreased through 4 throughout the city, and this appropriation does take that into consideration. So with that being said, I do move the order.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Darren Lowitz, seconded by Counselor Cormier to move the order. Is there discussion on the motion? This requires a roll call vote as well. If there is no discussion, the clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone?
Yes.
Counselor Boudreau?
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Ronald Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Darren Lowitz?
Yes.
Counselor Harder?
Yes.
Counselor Heath?
Yes.
Counselor Tyros?
Yes.
And President Kaczynskis?
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas, the motion passes. Item 10661, an order appropriating $75,000 from free cash to landfill closure expenditures. Report from the Finance Committee.
Finance Committee is favorable on this. As you're all aware, we're required by law to monitor the former West Street landfill for gases and so on for 30 years, for a 30-year period. In order to do this, you've received a spreadsheet which indicates that by putting in the amount of $75,000 per year, it will take care of us, and we'll be able to do this and monitor it properly as for methane gas, erosion, and health and safety issues. So the Finance Committee was in favor of this, and I move the order.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Ron Cormier, seconded by Counselor Darren Lowitz to move the order. Is there discussion on the motion? This also requires a roll call vote. The clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone?
Yes.
Counselor Boudreau?
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Ronald Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Darren Lowitz?
Yes.
Counselor Harder?
Yes.
Counselor Heath?
Yes.
Counselor Tyros?
Yes.
And President Kaczynskis?
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas, the motion passes. Item 10662, an order authorizing the city to borrow $1,800,000 to complete paving cost project. Report from the Finance Committee. Counselor Darren Lowitz.
Thank you, Madam President. This relates to the extensive repairs, improvements to our water infrastructure that have been ongoing over the past year or so, repairing several aged pipes, lines, and valves. Part of the original loan, the city was repaving the streets where the work had been done. This additional funding is again needed due to the increasing costs related to the pandemic and the Russian invasion. As outlined in our packet, it is only for the paving of the streets in blue where the work was completed. However, this will not cause for the increase of any of the rates as long as there are no further projects undertaken. Any additional works outlined on the packet where it was the sidewalks in green, the areas in red, would need additional funding at a later time. So this is just for the roads that were worked on for the water project and the roads alone. So with that being said, I would like to move the order.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Darrell Loud, seconded by Counselor Ron Cormier to move the order. Counselor Boone?
Yeah, so did I get it straight? The Russian invasion is causing all this increase? Is that factual?
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'm just going to move over here because the microphone's over here for Councilor Maxey. The Russian Federation's invasion of Ukraine led to the sanctions put in place by the Biden administration against the Russian Federation, which led to an increase in oil costs nationwide. The cost of oil is the biggest driving factor in the cost of asphalt. The cost of asphalt, when we originally entered into this project and put our original price proposal, as the original scope of the project had all of this roped into it in the original $11 million that was taken out from the water enterprise account. The cost of a ton of asphalt then was $70 per ton. It's now up to $94 per ton due to the increase in the cost of oil, which is again one of the main ingredients in the asphalt that we're using to pave the roads. In order to complete the project, this is the change in costs due to the change in the price of a barrel of oil that we've seen in the country going through there. And this is with the escalation clause that was in the contract that was there. Had we not had that escalation clause in place, we'd be looking closer to $105 per ton rather than the $95 that we're at now. So that signing the contract 2 years ago did save us that extra $10 per ton in there. However, it is still more than we can have right now in what was originally appropriated in the original loan. As was stated earlier, this does not impact the water rates that are there, as this is a loan taken out from the water enterprise account. When we did the rate study a couple years ago, there was some extra room in there, and this is included in that. So this would not require any additional rate increases for the water enterprise account. But long and short is it's the increase in the cost of oil as a result of the sanctions that have been placed on importing oil from Russia and the other ways that the oil industry has reacted to that. If the council would like to know, we are looking at doing a lot of this work before the end of the fiscal year in order to make sure that we stay locked in at that lower rate that we have from the contract that does fluctuate. And if the cost of oil does go down, that cost would go down. However, we're seeing it, rather than go down, plateau instead of just continue to increase at that point. So we are looking at seeing if we can get as much done before June 30th as we can. Otherwise, we are going to have to go up to the full amount because we are going to have to go through a new contract. And the Inspector General's office is not letting us continue forward because the contract is expiring on June 30th and we can't go for an extension because the language wasn't originally included in the original contract. Should this pass this evening, Pearl Street will begin its milling and paving process on May 9th, Central and West Line Street on May 16th, Monadnock and West Street on May 23rd, and Woodland Avenue on June 6th, and we'll get as much as we can done before the June 30th date with that contractor that we currently have, Massachusetts Broken Stone, who is our paving contractor. And then we are currently out for bid to continue to see who our on-call pavers will be following July 1st. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Counselor Boone?
Thank you, Madam President. So oil prices never went up before the Russian invasion. Is that factual? And I'll just state that. You don't have to answer the question. The second point that I want to make is, why are we bringing this political Russian invasion into our discussion? And it's obvious that it happened way before, and everybody knows it. We just don't want to say it. So, do I agree with the Ukraine and with Russia's going on? No. But we planned for this well in advance, and I just think it's wrong bringing up the political. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Abuja?
Councilor Boone, political or not, left, right, or center, I don't like spending money either, but it's a dead fact that things are more expensive than they were 2 years ago. Whether that's because of a politician or a policy is really unknown. And some of it is the war and some of it is COVID. But at the end of the day, we are in the middle of a job and we budgeted a certain amount and outside factors changed that. I know I am not a war strategist or a COVID doctor, but I know that we do have to deal with a ongoing and open project where the cards fall. And that's what we're doing here tonight. So, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Further
Yep.
discussion? Counselor Donald?
I'd just like to make it clear to Councilor Boone, the point was to mention the existing factors that are in the world that led to the increase, not to make any political statement. I'm not sure where you're getting that, but the point was to say this is what led to the increase in costs and not making any comment on it any further. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Further discussion? This item requires a roll call vote. It also requires a 2/3 majority vote to pass, which is 8 votes to pass. If there's no further discussion, the clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone,
Yes.
Counselor Boudreaux,
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier,
Yes.
Counselor Rhonda Cormier,
Yes.
Counselor Donald,
Yes.
Counselor Harder,
Yes.
Counselor Heath,
Yes.
Counselor Tyros,
Yes.
President Kaczynskis.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeses, the motion passes. Petitions, applications, communications, etc. Item 10655, a petition by National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated, Matthews Street, to install 2 jointly owned poles on Matthews Street beginning at a point approximately 3,700 feet in a self-direction. Install 2 poles underneath the transmission crossing. Is there a motion? Councilor Donald?
Thank you, Madam President. I would request this petition be referred to the Public Service Committee for further study and report and a public hearing be scheduled.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Donald, seconded by Councilor Craig Cormier, to schedule a Public Service Committee meeting and a public hearing. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10656, a petition by National Grid, Matthews Street, to install 5 single-owned poles on Matthews Street beginning at a point approximately 1,400 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Route 140 and continuing approximately 20 feet in a north direction. Install 5 poles to extend line for a new service. Councilor Donald?
As with the previous petition, I'd request that this be sent to the Public Service Committee for further study and report and a public hearing be scheduled.
Motion made by Councilor Donald, seconded by Councilor Heath, to schedule a, to refer the item to the Public Service Committee and schedule a public hearing. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Reports of Standing Committee, Appointments Committee. I would just like to say we do have a number of appointments up this evening, and they will be gone through sequentially. Some of them will be grouped together. All of the appointees this evening will get a full report, but some of them will be grouped together and voted as a group if there is no objection from the council. Okay. Also, item number 10631, which was a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Casey Bashaw to the position of alternate plumbing and gas inspector for term expiring March 9th, 2025, was inadvertently left off of our agenda this evening. It will be added on for the next meeting. It is in the appointments committee who, during their meeting, had kept it on their agenda for some more time, so it will appear on the next council meeting agenda. Item number 10632, item number 10633, 10634, and 10635 will all be together. So I'm going to read them all together and then ask for a report from the committee. Item 10632, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Philip Morrissey to the position of Airport Commission member for a term expiring March 4th, 2025. Item 10633, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of James Morrissey to the position of Airport Commission member for a term expiring March 4th, 2025. Item number 10634, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of John Lavoie to the position of Airport Commission member for a term expiring March 4th, 2025. Item number 10635, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Andre Gurton to the position of Airport Commission member for a term expiring March 3rd, 2025. Report from the Appointments Committee, Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed these appointments. We are glad to see the mayor is seeing fit to add and reappoint members of the Airport Commission. Philip Morrissey, James Morrissey, Mr. Lavoie, and Mr. Gurdon are current Airport Commission members, and the mayor reported that they are serving our community well. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointments be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Dern-Alowitz to confirm the mayor's appointments, items number 10632, 10633, 10634, 10635, Philip Morrissey, James Morrissey, John Lavoie, and Andre Gurdon to the Airport Commission. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item number 10636, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Stephen Hirons to the position of Sealer of Weights and Measures for term expiring March 23rd, 2023. Report from the Appointments Committee, Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed the appointment. This is a reappointment. Mr. Hirons has held the position for a number of years and served our city well in it, just as his father did. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore, I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Dern-Alowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment of Stephen Hirons. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10637, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Ronald G. Darmeka to the position of Council on Aging member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Report from the Appointments Committee, Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met with Mr. Darmeka and the mayor to discuss the appointment. Mr. Darmeka was nominated by members of the Council on Aging who brought their recommendation to the mayor. Mr. Darmeka has been very involved in the Council on Aging. He has been an associate member for a number of years, vice chair since March 2021, and more recently, chair of the Council of Aging since September. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Dern-Alowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment of Ronald Darmeka. Is there a discussion on the motion? Councilor Boudreaux?
Mr. Darmeka, as chair and as just a member, is a wonderful member of the Council on Aging. He, as I stated last week, the Public Welfare Committee went to the Council on Aging, and we were all very, very impressed with what the director and the council, including Chair Darmeka, has been doing as of late. There are a lot of things going on, new projects, new events, just the place is really moving and shaking, and I'm happy to see that. A lot of that is due to the fact that we have some great people on the Council of Aging and a director that's really pushing forward. So I'm happy to vote for this tonight.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10638, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of David Orwig to the position of Conservation Commission member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed the appointment. This is a reappointment. Mr. Orwig is highly recommended by Conservation Commission Chairman Dumas and is an active member in their meetings. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tyros, seconded by Councilor Dern-Alowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment of David Orwig. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. The golf commission appointments are next. I'm going to group them together. So item number 10639, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Alexander Dern-Alowitz to the position of golf commission member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Item 10640, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of David Noyes, position of golf commission member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Item 10641, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Jeffrey Gallant to the position of golf commission member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. I do realize there is another golf commission appointment after that, which I will be recusing myself and stepping down from because I have a potential conflict. So with items 10639, 10640, 10641. Councilor Tyros, Councilor Dern-Alowitz.
Yes, as a member of the Golf Commission and as also one of the appointments up here tonight, I'm going to abstain and recuse myself and actually leave the chamber for this vote.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you.
Report from the Appointments Committee, Councilor Tyros.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed these appointments. They are all reappointments of individuals who are interested in continuing their service to the city as Golf Commission members. Mr. Gallant is the chair of the commission. While Golf Commission members are unpaid, they are compensated by an annual fee, free family membership. at the golf course. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointments be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Tyros, seconded by Counselor Craig Cormier to confirm the mayor's appointments of Alexander Donalowitz, David Noyes, and Jeffrey Gallant as golf commission members. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. At this time, I would like to ask Counselor Ron Cormier to take item number 10642. I will recuse myself and step away from the matter because I have a potential conflict.
Item number 10642 is a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Michael Budwick to the position of Gulf Commission member for a term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Report from the committee, please.
Thank you. As stated previously, the committee met, voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Motion made by Councilor Tyro, seconded by Councilor
Second.
Cormier to confirm the appointment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion, nay. Motion carries. Did you want to excuse yourself?
I just want to excuse myself, yes, Counselor.
All right. Indicate to Councilor Donalowitz and President Zinskas for an excuse. And the motion passed.
Thank you, Counselor Cormier. Item number 10643, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Tina Sprague to the position of Williams Rockwell Educational Gift Fund trustee for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Counselor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met with Ms. Sprague and the mayor to discuss the appointment. This is a new appointment. Ms. Sprague was recommended by the mayor due to her significant background in the Gardner community and the business and financial expertise she would bring to the board. She is a former president and CEO of GFA Federal Credit Union, where, as an example of her commitment to the community and education, she created a student advisory council for the credit union. The committee, she is passionate about serving in this role and is honored to be selected. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Tyros, seconded by Counselor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment. Is there a discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10644, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Mark Monahan to the position of bandstand committee member for term expiring March 22nd, 2025. Counselor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed the appointment with the mayor. This is a new appointment. There are current vacancies on the voluntary bandstand committee. The mayor expressed that Mr. Monahan would like to give back and show his care for the city by serving in this role. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Tyros, seconded by Counselor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment. Is there a discussion on the motion? Counselor Boudreaux?
Known Mr. Monahan since high school, but I really got to know him last year when he was running for the city council. And I believe Mark Monahan and his entire family are compassionate and caring people, and he will do well in this role. But I mostly love to see people who take their chance and try to run for something. It doesn't go their way and they still get involved. That speaks a lot to a person's character, and I'm happy to see Mark here tonight. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Counselor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Items number 10645 and 10646 are for the Housing Authority. So item 10645, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of George Roulette to the position of Housing Authority member for term expiring March 22nd, 2027. And item 10646, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Stephen Hancock to the position of Housing Authority member for term expiring March 22nd, 2027. Counselor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed these appointments. These are reappointments. We are fortunate to have Mr. Roulette and Mr. Hancock experience on this board. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Tyros, seconded by Counselor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment of George Roulette and Stephen Hancock to the position of Housing Authority member. Is there a discussion on the motion? Councillor Boudreaux?
Recently, for reasons outside the scope of the council, I learned a lot about what was going on at the Gardner Housing Authority, and boy, are these people busy. Both these two men here tonight are compassionate and caring, and there are projects going on over there constantly. They're always moving. The people are happy, and it's really just great to see. So this will be good to keep them on there because there is a nice mix of seasoned and newer people on that board. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Further discussion? Councillor Boone?
Thank you, Madam President. I don't know about this George Willett guy, but I told him I'd give him a hard time. We're lucky to have him serving, as well as Steve Hancock, who has served the city for so long. So I'm fully on board with this measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10647, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Mario Guay to the position of Board of Registrars member for term expiring March 24th, 2025. Councillor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met with Mr. Guay and the mayor on this reappointment. Mr. Guay has a great experience serving just over a decade on this board. He is very knowledgeable and looked forward to continue this service. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointment be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councillor Tyros, seconded by Councillor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 10648, 10649, and 10650 will have one vote. They're all cemetery commission appointments. Item 10648, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Brian LaRoche to the position of cemetery commission member for a term expiring March 29th, 2025. 10649, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Denise Merriam to the position of cemetery commission member for a term expiring March 30th, 2025. Item number 10650, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of John Dickey to the position of cemetery commission member for term expiring March 30th, 2025. Councillor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed these appointments. These are reappointments to an unpaid volunteer position on the Cemetery Commission, required by city ordinance. Ms. Merriam, Mr. Adeki, Mr. LaRoche are recommended by the mayor and do great work. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointments be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councillor Tyros, seconded by Councillor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointment of Brian LaRoche, Denise Merriam, and John Dickey to the position of cemetery commission members. Is there a discussion on the motion? Councillor Boudreaux?
While all of these people are great and I'm happy they serve our community, I would like to speak to the dedication and 100% service to the city of Gardner Denise Merriam has given over her career. Denise can't get out of here. She worked here for her whole career, and now she's volunteering in a number of different capacities. I did 8 years on the Public Service Committee, 6 of which was with Denise, and they were all a pleasure, and they were all run well, and it was wonderful to be able to spend that time with her. So I'm glad she's still volunteering, and I look forward to voting for her tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Items 10651, 10652, and 10653 are all appointments to the Municipal Grounds Commission and will be voted on as one vote together. Item 10651, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Brian LaRoche to the position of Municipal Grounds Commission for a term expiring March 29th, 2025. Item 10652, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of John Dickey to the position of Municipal Grounds Commission for a term expiring March 30th, 2025. Item number 10653, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Denise Merriam to the position of Municipal Grounds Commission for term expiring March 30th, 2025. Councillor Tyros?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee met and discussed these appointments. These are reappointments. The Municipal Grounds Commission advises the Director of Public Works in the financial and operational aspects of the city-owned lands and received an annual stipend of $750. The committee voted unanimously to recommend, therefore I move the appointments be certified.
Second.
Motion made by Councillor Tyros, seconded by Councillor Donalowitz to confirm the mayor's appointments of Brian LaRoche, John Dickey, and Denise Merriam to the position of Municipal Grounds Commission. Is there a discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. At this time, we will take a brief recess of the meeting to swear in those who have been appointed here this evening. We will reconvene after the swearing in is completed and call the meeting back to order at that time. If you're here I'm going to call the meeting back to order. There is no unfinished business and matters for reconsideration. Moving into new business. Councillor Heath?
I have none, Madam President.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Tyros?
No new council business this evening. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Durnalowitz?
Nothing this evening, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Craig Cormier?
I just wish the best to all our new appointments and thank them for their service.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Boone?
Nothing new, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Boudreau?
The Public Welfare Committee last week took a tour of Monty Tech. It was incredibly impressive. I have never really been to Monty Tech, and we had a great time looking at all of the trades and learning about all the things that they do and the innovative ways that they're growing as a school, as tradespeople, and integrating themselves into the community. There was also a presentation on the budget. It'll go up slightly this year, but the presentation will be in the minutes of the Welfare Committee's last meeting. I'll make sure to send that out when I put that together so that everyone will have that information, which I'm sure will also be part of the budget books when they come out later this year. But overall, it was fun. I'd like to thank the principal and superintendent at Monty Tech for having us, and it was great. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Harder?
Nothing new this week, Madam President.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Ron Cormier?
Nothing else this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. I have no new business this evening. The next item is executive session. I will entertain a motion to move into executive session for the purposes of which to discuss Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 22F, review and approval of the minutes of August 2nd, 2021 executive session, not to be released. Strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21(3). A. Scott Graves versus City of Gardner. B. Zong versus City of Gardner. C. Lawrence Petrica versus City of Gardner. D. RA Realty Trust versus City of Gardner. Exemption number 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21(6). The council will reconvene in open session at the conclusion of the executive session only for the purpose of adjournment. Is there a motion? Councillor Durnalowitz?
Second.
I move to move into executive session.
Motion made by Councillor Durnalowitz, seconded by Councillor Boudreau. To move into executive session. As required by Chapter 30A of the General Laws, I declare that discussing these matters in open session would not be appropriate as the discussion involves an item in active litigation against the city. In this case, involves items in active litigation against the city. Is there any discussion on the motion? This requires a roll call vote, and it is a simple majority of 6 votes needed. The clerk will please call the roll.
Councillor Boone?
Yes.
Councillor Boudreau?
Yes.
Councillor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Councillor Ronald Cormier?
Yes.
Councillor Durnalowitz?
Yes.
Councillor Harder?
Yes.
Councillor Heath?
Yes.
Councillor Tyros?
Yes.
President Kazinskas?
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas, the motion passes. The City Council will now meet in executive session. A brief recess will be called as the members of the public and those with a vested interest against the city's standing in the litigation at hand exit the council chamber. The doors will be shut and the public broadcast of the meeting will pause. Following the City Council voting to close the executive session and re-enter into open session, the doors will be reopened, the public admitted back into the chamber, and the public broadcast resumed. And we will now recess while I leave the chamber.
Madam President, just for clarification, since the council will only be going back into open session for the purpose of adjournment, the TV cameras will be cutting the live broadcast once the executive session starts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Nicholson.